What up, my ninjas? It's your boy Majin AN here today to make another video. This is my first review video, so please go easy on me. So yeah, and today's review is going to be about the Dave Chappelle comedy special, The Closer, which has been making a lot of news due to its controversial topics involving the LGBT community. And especially the trans part, the T of the LGBT community. Baby, you want to join me? But before I get into that, I would like to introduce y'all to a special guest. Hey baby, come here. Daddy wants to show you off, sweetie. Daddy wants to show you off. This is my puppy Brave. He's 10 months old and he's my pride and joy. Brave, say hi to the cam. Say hi to everyone. Yeah, he's big for a puppy, I know, but that's how pit bulls are. But he's just my precious little baby. And he's going to be with me this whole time while we're talking about Dave Chappelle. Anyways, let's get started. You do your thing, boo-boo. You do your thing. Anyways, you see, Dave Chappelle is known for his no F's given type humor. He will offend anyone and everyone he can. But he mostly delves within the racial aspects of humor. He's like Norm Macdonald, but black and ready to roast white people. While Norm Macdonald will be ready to roast everyone. Rest in peace, Norm. You are an OG. But yeah. Anyways, while he's normally on the racial aspect of roasting, Dave Chappelle also was on the LGBT aspect of roasting. Baby, no. Stay away from that. Stay away from that. No. But yeah, Dave Chappelle, and this was really prevalent in The Closer, his new Netflix stand-up comedy special. He delved deeply within his involvement in the LGBT community, the jokes that he makes towards them, and how he views the whole transgender situation. But yeah, we'll delve into the controversy of that. Many of his jokes involved references to rapper The Baby, who made headlines lately with the whole homophobic rant thing at that concert of his, which was really bad. In fact, Dave Chappelle was like, dude, I go hard in the paint, but damn, baby, The Baby, that is too much. And then he also referenced to how some people will do controversial things that should affect their career negatively, but they're not canceled, but mess with the LGBT community, they immediately get canceled and their careers ruined. Like what is going on with The Baby right now. As in, his career is going down the toilet. It's pretty bad. It is pretty effing bad. Babe, you better be staying out of trouble, baby. But yes. And then I've just noticed some points with Dave Chappelle that I personally firstly understand, but I can't speak for anyone else because I'm just a straight black dude. I'm not in the LGBTQ community, even though I'm an out. And I'm not trans, so I can't speak for that community either. Yeah, but I do see where some of his humor is coming from because you have to know Dave Chappelle's style of humor. Like I said before, he's ready to offend everyone, mostly in the racial aspects of modern situations. Because Dave Chappelle's humor mainly focuses on race. And that is even prevalent in the whole LGBTQ jokes, because when he was roasting LGBTQ people, it it clearly seemed like he was roasting white LGBTQ people, and was mentioning some topics like how the LGBT how gay people forget that they're gay sometimes and go back to using their white card. I didn't quote it right, but I'm just getting to that. But he did bring up the point that racism has been prevalent in the LGBTQ community, and discrimination and like prejudice. I don't know super much on that, but I have heard details, and people have told me about white fit gays thinking that they're better than non-white, non-fit gays or something. I really am not an expert in that field, but I've heard some things. And I do agree with that point, because I'm like, hey, you're a marginalized group too. You shouldn't be discriminating amongst each other. Some gays shouldn't think that they're better than other gays. It's just not cool. And Dave Chappelle brought that into light. But his transphobia jokes also mentioned his support for J.K. Rowling, the famed Harry Potter author, who is in a lot of trouble with the LGBTQ community, especially the trans community, because she is a TERF. Let's see. Trans extreme radical feminists. I think I butchered it, but you get the picture. She's a feminist who is anti-trans, as some women are understandably anti-transgender due to biological disputes, which I am not an expert on, and I am in no way like saying, hey, I'm a TERF. I am not a TERF, but at the same time, I do understand where some anti-trans people come from, especially in the women aspects. And so does Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle made a Caitlyn Jenner joke about how women should be mad that, or women would be understandably mad that Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year in her first year being a woman. And I get it, but at the same time, not my place to say. But I do get that. Because of the whole, trans women never had to suffer through periods, or don't have a womb and cannot give childbirth and everything. But personally, I feel like trans women would want to give childbirth if they could. And that's just something out of their control. And it's like they were physically born male, but that was their assigned gender. A gender that they didn't want, but can control or help. However, Dave Chappelle, while making transphobic jokes, show that he's not completely transphobic, because he's really good with his pronouns. He doesn't like, what's the term? Misgender trans people. In most of his jokes talking about trans people, men and trans women. He did not, well, there were mainly jokes about trans women, but he never misgendered trans women. He referred to them as she respectfully. Because before he was very ignorant about the whole gender trans situation. And he admitted that. And he said that he showed that over the years, he got to learn how to address that situation better. And you're doing good, baby. Keep it up. And he hasn't really misgendered people. He's learned the terms. He's just done his thing. And yeah, he even talked about his friendship with a couple of people in the transgender community. More importantly, his friendship with late trans woman comedian Deborah Dorman. I think that's the name. How he and her got along so well. He had her open up for her at a stand-up comedy show. How she bombed at first, but then when someone asked her if the drapes matched the curtains matched the drapes, and how she responded so well with, I don't have curtains, I just have hardwood floors. And then people were enjoying Dave's humor with her back and forth, and just how they became close friends. He even addressed Deborah's suicide and how he created a trust fund for Deborah's daughter. Using the help of Anderson Cooper, he's addressing Anderson Cooper as more reliable than gay Google. Or he is the gay Google. My mom's a huge CNN fan, loves Anderson Cooper. Sure. Well, doesn't really love Anderson Cooper, but listens to the show. So I found that funny. But yeah, it's just, Dave Chappelle's show wasn't as bad as people really hyped it up to be, in my opinion. Not anyone else's opinion. If you're from the LGBTQ community and you want to cancel Dave Chappelle, that is your choice, and this is towards your people and your identity, so you have all rights to cancel. But I personally didn't find anything super wrong, even though there were some jokes that were ooh. I just mainly saw it as Dave Chappelle just explaining his gripe with the LGBT community, how it's affected his career throughout his decades long career, and just how he's trying to go forward with that. And while Dave Chappelle is on the road to getting canceled by certain communities or certain people, he doesn't care. He did that show just because he does what he does. He's Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is a comedian from the time before the LGBTQ community was getting more of their freedoms, more of their rights and everything. He's like an old school comedian like Eddie Murphy. And yeah, Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac, Patrice O'Neal, Sarah Silverman, Wanda Sykes, just a whole bunch of comedians. Well, I mean, Wanda Sykes is lesbian, but she's from that time. However, it's just he also brings up very important moments in gay rights in history, like the Stonewall riots in the UK. He was talking about how those are the gays that he respected, that those gays were ready to throw hands. They're like, hey, making jokes similar to hey, we suck dick and we're proud and we're ready to throw hands. Bring it, mother. But yeah, he's And the glory holes. Oh, the glory hole joke. That was funny in my opinion. Like how gay people have more balls than they, well, metaphorically speaking, are braver than he is with the whole concept of the glory hole. And yeah, I enjoyed his stand-up comedy as I usually do, because I rock with Dave Chappelle. I'm not going to cancel him over his issues with the trans community and the LGBT community, and I'm not just going to just be like, hey, Dave Chappelle should not be making jokes in this time of day. Dave Chappelle's comedy has prevailed through the test of time, and his racial comedy is still going strong. So yeah, Dave Chappelle, thank you for doing what you do, man. I am a huge fan of your comedy. Just Yellow Springs, you're right about them dirty white women in Ohio. Oh, I'm an Ohio nigga. I'm an Ohio ninja. I'm going to use ninja for the N-word. I'm an Ohio ninja. I know about them dirty hippie white women in Ohio, especially like Yellow Springs. It's their type of place. So yeah, you hit Ohio straight in the nail with that one. But yeah, my last minute into this video, I don't think Dave Chappelle should be canceled, and I'm rocking with Dave. But if he is canceled, he probably doesn't care, and he's still going to go strong, because people have canceled him, and the LGBT community, people have tried canceling him, and the LGBT community tried canceling Eminem, but they've still overcame everything that has been thrown against them to be canceled with. But yeah, it was quite a comedy special, and it was a fun comedy special. Had some risque jokes and some fun jokes, like when he fought the lesbian at a nightclub. Like, yeah, it was great. But that is my thoughts on the Dave Chappelle Netflix stand-up comedy situation. And thank you again for listening to me ramble on and talk about Dave Chappelle. You have a great night or afternoon, and see you then.